My people, look, you know what flute blocks are, you know what drum blocks are, you read the title of the video, let's get right into it. If you don't already know how to read music, I'd recommend watching this video by Ted Ed. It's very short and it will tell you everything you need to know for this video. I'll also show a full example at the end of this video for you to follow along with. If you already have the sheet music for the tune that you want to produce, things will go very smoothly because otherwise you'll need to pick out all the pitches by ear, which can be kind of tough. You get the recipe to make flute blocks and drum blocks in the mail from Robin at 6 Hearts. Flute blocks are made by combining 10 wood, 2 copper ore, and 20 fiber. The drum block is made by using the same ingredients except it uses stone instead of wood. If you're having trouble getting enough fiber to make all of the blocks that you want, I would recommend going to the mutant bug layer connected to the sewers because there's a ton there. Flute blocks are going to be used for the melody of our song and the drum blocks are going to be used for the beat. What we'll do is place the flute blocks and drum blocks on the ground and run past them at a constant speed. When we properly space out the blocks and tune them to the correct pitch, we'll hear our music. You can change the pitch of the flute block by a half step or the next key up on a piano by right-clicking on it once. And contrary to what the wiki tells you, there's 24 pitches in total that you can play. This chart shows what note you'll play based on how many times you right-click the flute block after you put it down. The note being played by default is a middle C, which is this note in the middle of the piano. Here's what middle C looks like on the treble clef and the bass clef. Drum blocks work in the same way as flute blocks. You put them down on the ground and then every time you right-click, it plays a different percussion type of sound. There's a total of 7 sounds and I think it's easier for me to just show you what they all sound like. You can hear there's a really good variety of sounds that we'll use to make the beat of our music later. You can play up to 2 blocks at once when you're running past them, so we'll have to learn to prioritize our sounds pretty well. For the purposes of this video, we'll talk about a group of 4 tiles as if it is 1 beat in a measure. In a lot of songs, there's normally 4 beats to a measure, so if you're playing nothing but quarter notes, your blocks will be spaced out like this. An 8th note will have 1 space after it, and 16th notes have no gap after them. When you run at normal speed past a bunch of blocks in a row, you'll play 5 of them every second. Since we're counting every 4th block as a beat, this translates to 75 beats per minute. This will probably end up being a lot slower than you want to play, but if you drink a coffee, you can run past blocks faster, allowing you to play up to 90 beats per minute. By getting 2 speed boosts, like from a coffee and a spicy eel, you play at 105 beats per minute. This pattern of an extra 15 beats per minute for every +1 speed that you have continues, so if you use a cheats mod, you can get well over 200 beats per minute if you want to. We actually know everything that we need to know to make music now, and like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys an example to help you follow along. The song I've chosen to recreate is the song that plays when someone subscribes to my Twitch channel, which is Flamingo by Caro Caro Bonito. So you can see I've pulled up the sheet music for Flamingo, and one thing that the TED video didn't talk about is what these little symbols mean next to the clef. These 3 little symbols mean we're in the E flat key signature, which means every time we play an E, an A, or a B, it will be flat. I'm going to move past that for now, but basically here are all of the different key signatures, and in the top right, I'm going to link a video if you need more help. You can see the very first note that we're going to play is an A flat, and if we consult our chart, we'll see that after we put the flute block down, we have to click on it 8 times to get that note. So I'll put this flute block down, and that's a middle C, and I'll right click on it 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we have an A flat. Now because this is an 8th note, we would normally leave 1 gap between this flute block and the next one. But because this is a really fast song and there's no 16th notes, meaning we would never have to have flute blocks closer together than this, I think I'm actually just going to put them right next to each other. The next note is a B flat, so we'll put that down and we will click it 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The note after that is a C, which is 12 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we'll just continue with this process. And you can already hear the beginning of our melody. Since that last E flat was a quarter note, we'll actually leave a gap between this flute block and the next one to make sure that our timing is right. So we have an F at 17 clicks. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Again, that F was a quarter note, so we'll leave 1 gap before we put down the next block. And you can hear when we play it all together, it sounds like this. It's coming along. Now remember that last G was an 8th note, so the next note is going to get put down right beside it. I'm going to finish making the melody and then I'll show you guys what that sounds like all together. Alright, I've got the first part of the melody down. I'm going to run along just so you can hear what it sounds like now that I have all the notes in place. And so you're probably going to run into an issue if you use a longer song like I am, where you're going to run out of space in a straight line, and so now we're going to talk about how to handle turning a corner. So let's say we wanted to put our next block 4 spaces away from the previous one like this, but instead we want to do it around the corner. The last place that we're going to stand is right here, and normally the next block wouldn't be hit for another 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. And so you're just going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 paths down and put that note right here instead. So you're going to be running along, and as soon as you get to that corner, you're just going to want to turn right away. And as long as you do it right away, it should continue with the beat. Sorry guys, the audio actually got corrupted during my first take, so Future Zach is going to be here to help us through the rest of the video. So when you're running along in a straight line, you can only play up to 2 blocks at once, so you're going to have to prioritize whether you want 2 flute blocks playing together in harmony, or if you want a flute block playing along with a drum block for the beat. If you really want to make your songs pop, I would recommend using mostly drum blocks, but then during like really exciting parts, you can use flute blocks at the same time. The default sound that you're hearing right now from the drum block works really well as a bass drum, and if you put down a drum block and then click it once, that works really well as a snare, and then putting one down and clicking on it twice works really well as a hi-hat. So because I'm from the future, our entire example is actually already done, so let's take a listen to hear our final product. So that's really all that you need to know to start making your own flute block songs on Stardew Valley. If you guys want to check out some more advanced examples, or you just want to see some cool stuff, the YouTube channel NetWarrior FM has been uploading Stardew Valley flute block songs that are really well done. That's all I have for you guys though. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, leaving a like helps it do a ton better on YouTube, and I stream live at twitch.tv/UnsurpassableZ, and I'd love to have you there. That's all I have for this video though. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.